How do you think your work would change if you were to be more productive? Be more specific, if you were to boost your productivity by about 10x or even more. Definitely, that would affect how much work you produce. You'd be able to get more work done. And when you get more work done, you would also be able to probably be recognized as that person who gets more work done, perhaps by your supervisor or your manager or by your clients. And when they know you to be that kind of person, it kind of like puts you in a place where you can be more eligible for promotions, pay raises, and definitely more recognition would come as a result of that. And everything goes back to being more productive. And so in this video, I'll be sharing with you 5 productivity boosters that you can begin applying today and right now to boost your productivity by even 10x or more. But before I start with that, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel so you can get some more videos on professional development and success, just like this one you are watching right now. So subscribe, like, comment as well. So there have been a number of tips that I have been applying, especially to help me with productivity, because this is something that I'm always fascinated by. I'm always looking for the best way possible to get the most done. So I've tried a couple of different things, and there are 5 of them that continue to help me to be more productive on my work, whatever kind of work that I am doing. So 5 of them. The first one is avoid multitasking. Okay, this one may seem quite intuitive because you've probably seen it so many different places where people say multitasking helps with productivity. And honestly, I used to think the same thing too. And I even tried multitasking several times. And guess what? Instead of boosting my productivity, it was literally killing my productivity. In fact, there have been studies that show that multitasking reduces productivity by about 40%, which is really very significant. So multitasking definitely is doing the opposite of boosting productivity. And I know this for sure because, again, I have tried it out myself. Part of the reason why multitasking doesn't work is our brain and our mind in general is able to focus much more effectively on one task at a time. But with multitasking, you're trying to do multiple things at the same time, but like juggling different balls. And man, it's going to be very difficult for the brain to indeed focus. So probably you've even experienced it yourself, and you can tell that the times when you multitask, you probably were not able to get much work done. But when you did not multitask, meaning when you focused on one task at a time, you probably were able to get much work done. So that is definitely one very quick way to boost productivity. The second one is to apply the batching technique. So what this one literally just entails is, instead of context switching across different tasks, it helps a lot if you can focus on one task over a period of time, for a chunk of time. Focus on one task over a chunk of time. Once you're done with that, you can then move on to do the next task over a chunk of time. For example, if say you have 3 different tasks to complete, task A, task B, task C, instead of context switching across all those tasks within say a period of 30 minutes, so you work on one task, task A, 10 minutes, another task, task B, 10 minutes, and task C, 10 minutes, and you split your attention across all of this over a short period of time, which definitely probably will not be the best use of time. It really helps a lot to chunk your time across different tasks. They kind of recommend doing this within a block of 60 to 90 minutes. So within the period of 60 to 90 minutes, by that time, you probably would have been able to get deep work done. So you put your head in the task and staying in there for about 60 to 90 minutes. by that time you probably would have been able to make some good progress before you can move on to do the next task. This is something that I've been applying, and man, it's really helped me a lot across different different projects. So it's something that you can also try out as well. Applying the batching technique definitely would help you to boost productivity for sure. The third is to work on high value task first. This is the concept behind the eat the frog. If you've kind of noticed, when you get work done, especially when you get something that is important off your list, how does it make you feel? Definitely, it makes you feel very much accomplished. It makes you feel like you just hit the jackpot, right? So imagine starting off your day with that feeling. You get something significant, a high value task completed initially at the beginning of the day. You feel much more motivated, you feel much more excited to even want to continue to knock off other kinds of tasks. And obviously, the more work you're able to complete, the more tasks you're able to complete, the more excited and motivated you would be. And obviously, the better it would be for yourself, your team, and definitely you'd be recognized more as that person who gets work done. So focusing on high value tasks, those tasks that would move the needle, getting those ones completed first before you can move on to the next task. There are different individuals who have come up with different prioritization techniques. There is one that I remember that was taught by Stephen Covey in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So having to work on the most important and the most urgent task first. There's the 4 quadrants. So working on the most important and the highest value, most important and the most urgent tasks first, as opposed to working on, say, tasks that are least important and least urgent. So which is in a different place in the quadrant. So that is definitely one to apply as well, focusing on knocking off the high value tasks because it gives you the highest satisfaction and excitement for you to go work on the other kinds of tasks. So number 4 is to shut off distractions. Distractions, they come in different shapes, form, and sizes. It's just a matter of identifying what are the distractions for you. Maybe it is the beeping sound of your phone each time you receive a message, or maybe even a call, or maybe it is the notification from your email, or your messaging application on your desktop, or it is notification from social media, right? So there are different forms of distractions, and when we get distracted as we are working on a particular task, if we pay attention to the distraction, meaning we shift our focus from what we are doing to the distraction, usually it takes at least 15 minutes for us to come back and have our heads dived deep into what we were doing. So imagine if you get distracted about 4 times. It's just going to, within a period of 1 hour, it's just going to mean that you would have to spend about 45 minutes diving deep into the work you were doing. So the more distractions you are able to shut off, the more productive you're going to be, because the more you're able to keep your head deep into the work you are doing. The 5th is to set reminders. Obviously, there are 100 million possible things that we could be doing, and in this fast-paced workplace and fast-paced world where we are, it can become increasingly impossible for us to remember every single time deadline, every single meeting time that we have to do. And the more often we have to keep checking, distracting ourselves from what we're doing to keep checking, the less productive we are going to be. But when we have reminders, we literally delegate that task to, say, our gadgets. Maybe it is your smart calendar, or you have a reminder that you can set on your phone that would notify you when it is the time for a meeting, or when when the deadline for a particular project or task is coming. So this way, you literally don't have to worry about all of those petty little things, and you just have your device do the job for you. Again, in doing it this way, you'll be able to focus more of your attention for a long period of time in the work that you're doing, and you'll be able to get much work done as well. So those are 5 different tips that I believe will help with boosting productivity. I applied these tips, and now they have really been very, very helpful for me in boosting my productivity. So I'm able to get much work done and also contribute more to the different projects that I am working on. I hope you find this valuable and useful as well. So try it out, and let me hear. I'd like to hear also how much it helps you with boosting your productivity at your workplace or whatever it is that you are having to put in effort towards. So thanks a lot for watching. It's been Franklin here, and don't forget that you are more than enough. You are worthy, you're deserving, you are loved. Have a nice one. Bye now. Peace.